Well, it's coming and you cannot stop it. 351 in just 1 week alone. I mean, what the hell is going on in California? And this is exactly what I'm going to be diving into in today's broadcast. You see, in the past week alone, scientists and seismic trackers are showing hundreds of earthquakes shaking California. That's more than 350 tremblors in just 1 week. And seismic experts are warning that this is not normal activity. Now, right now, earthquake storms are rattling the San Francisco Bay Area with dozens of quakes hitting places like San Ramon and beyond, including a 4.2 magnitude quake that was felt across the region. And by the way, just a few weeks prior to that, a 4.9. The bottom line, why is all this happening? What is really going on? Is this cluster of activity signaling something bigger on the San Andreas Fault System? Are the fault lines entering a dangerous new phase? Well, today I'm going to break all of that information down for you and what the scientists are saying about it and what you need to know, especially if you have loved ones or you yourself live in and around the California area, and quite frankly, anywhere, because this could impact us all severely. So if you really want to understand what the hell's going on right now in Cali, I want to remind you to smash that like button, subscribe to more updates, and let's get into the nitty gritty of what is truly going on. Now, before I dive into that, I want to tell you guys about this. I got a brand new channel. I guess it's not new. I had it a long time ago, but I've kind of abandoned it for 4 years, but it's called Lisa Report. I want to encourage you guys to subscribe to my new channel there on YouTube. I'm going to be posting videos there as well, so it's a great way to get more information. So subscribe to Lisa Report. I'll leave a link in the description box below for you to check out my secondary channel there, because YouTube has been really suppressive lately and not sharing my stuff. And I'm hoping that maybe this is another way that I could reach you as well. But let's start first with these quakes and what on earth is going on. And I originally found it on Michael Schneider's The Economic Collapse blog, and he headlined it 321. That number has now changed because I'll show you that in a moment, but it's 351 as of the making of this video. But 321 earthquakes hit the San Francisco area in 1 week. Is the San Andreas Fault entering a very dangerous new phase? He goes on to say, as you will see below, there have been 321 earthquakes in San Francisco area within the past 7 days. If I was living in Northern California, that would definitely get my attention. Scientists have warned us over and over and over again that the big one is inevitably coming. And almost every day there are more reminders of this. And he goes on to show a screenshot of the Southern California Earthquake Data Center, and he shows 321 earthquakes just in the last week. Now, if I go forward, right, and back to that same website there, the SCEDC, you can now see that number at about 351 earthquakes there at the bottom. So you can see as of February 3rd, within the last week, 351 quakes. So lots of rattling going on in California. And by the way, that is absolutely not normal. But here's kind of the latest of what went down there. And this is on ABC 7 News. Swarm of over 30 earthquakes strike near San Ramon, strongest being 4.2 quake. Now it goes on to state this. Dozens of earthquakes shook the Bay Area Monday morning as a swarm of tremblors struck near San Ramon, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. The largest was a 4.2 magnitude centered in San Ramon that hit at 7:01 in the morning, and it was followed by a 3.8 quake that struck at 6:27 in the morning amid a flurry of over 30 quakes. USGS said the 4.2 quake was about 9.4 kilometers in depth there. And you can see the pictures here shared by Mrs. Patel here and how they're in and around that area and the swarm. And by the way, just a few weeks prior to that, another part of California was rattling and rolling. And this is on CBS News. 4.9 magnitude earthquake aftershocks rattle Indio in Southern California near the San Andreas Fault. A 4.9 magnitude earthquake and several aftershocks rattled Southern California on Monday night, according to the USGS. The first and largest quake happened approximately 5 miles northeast of Indio Hills which is in the Palm Desert region of Riverside County at around 5:57 p.m., the USGS reported. It occurred at a geological depth of nearly 2 miles. The preliminary magnitude of the quake was reported first at 5.1, and it was downgraded to 4.6, and then it sat officially at 4.9. So obviously, a lot of rumbling going on. The region where the earthquake took place is in proximity to the infamous San Andreas Fault System, where a similar series of earthquakes jolted Southern California in 2025. Here's the deal. It's not a question of if this thing is going to hit. It's a question of when it's going to hit. Unfortunately, history shows that at some point in time, there is going to be an earthquake. And that's why I am always adamant about preparing and preparation. It's not something we can stop, so we might as well prepare for it. And scientists, as you saw in the articles I've shared with you, are a little on edge about the uptick in activity in the California area. What's interesting, though, is that these quakes come on the or are just before a series of, well, solar flares, right? Take a look at this. This is on Live Science. Sunspot launches 27 solar flares in 24 hours, including strongest outburst in years. A monster sunspot is taking aim at Earth after firing off dozens of powerful flares Sunday and Monday, including the most intense solar eruption in years. The sunspot, called Region 4366, appeared suddenly several days ago and has rapidly grown to roughly half the size of the infamous Carrington event sunspot, which in September 1859 fired a flare that triggered the most destructive geomagnetic storm recorded in history. The swift growth has left sunspot 4366 highly unstable in a 24-hour period between Sunday and Monday. The region erupted with more than 20 solar flares, including at least 23 M-class solar flares and 4 X-class flares, the strongest category of solar flares, according to NASA. So this is one of the strongest flares that they have, and it actually caused some blackouts in radios. And in addition to that, obviously on February 5th, they are predicting there's going to be some more pretty stuff in the skies. And this has been massively upticked as of late. This is on Sky at Night magazine. Increased aurora possible this week as NASA records multiple strong solar flares erupting from the sun. So there's a lot more coming in our skies and happening in our skies. But an aurora. Now we're seeing auroras in places like Texas and other places that we've never seen them before. Things are upticking, folks. There is a lot of things happening in the heavenlies. And I'm going to keep an eye on it, of course, but it's never good to have more rumbling and rolling going on, especially in California. I, for one, don't want the San Andreas Fault to pop. But there's also, at the same time, all this activity from the sun, which, hey, a CME, an X-class solar flare could very well cause yet a 2.0 Carrington event. And if something like that happens, is bye-bye to things like the internet, right? And lots of our power grids. But anyway, I wanted to share all of that with you. I love all of you. As a quick reminder, make sure you get on over to Restricted Republic. Look, this is where we put everything in one place. We've got all the information in there. But sign up at restrictedrepublic.com. Get it for $5 per month. Use the coupon code Lisa and the number 5 to see that exclusive video content. Justice Knight and myself are on there. Anyhow, with all of that, I love you all. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.